This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Hello, my name is Uriah Oxford from the CMDR Decks YouTube channel. Today I am pleased to bring you an exclusive M15 preview card on behalf of GatheringMagic.com. Let's do it! So what do we know about M15? There are new frames, and Garrick is killing everybody. And the M15 pre-release is happening July 12th and 13th at your local game store. My preview card today is a mythic rare that is going to make a splash, especially in Commander, the best format out there. Before I show you the card and a Commander deck tech made just for it, a quick history lesson. Indestructible was first introduced in Darksteel. Cards like Darksteel Colossus were exciting. You couldn't destroy it. Since then, we have seen other cards that give Indestructible to permanence. That which was taken, Spearbreaker Behemoth, and Avacyn, Angel of Hope. In the grand tradition of those cards, I bring you Soul of New Phyrexia. Wow, look at that card. First, that art. It's like the unholy union of Elesh Norn and Wurmcoil Engine. Awesome. It's even got those cool little Darksteel light thingies around it. Like Wurmcoil, we get a 6/6 artifact creature for 6 mana, but this monster has some things old Wormy doesn't. We have Trample. Not exactly an ability that's winning any awards, but good stuff. Where this card really shines is that second ability. Pay 5 mana and make all your permanents indestructible until the end of turn? Yes, please. Alright, I can hear you now. But this thing just rolls over to any exiled removal. You're right, Swords and Path are going to be quick friends with this beastie. Just like Juggernaut used to be called Lightning Rod because of how many bolts it took, this thing might as well be named Swords Rod, which is much worse, by the way. But today, all we care about is Magical Christmas Land, which says this guy isn't going anywhere, and neither is anything else you control. In the real world, thankfully, there are lots of cards in Magic that can protect our artifacts, which you can just jam in next to this guy. That second ability might never get played. Since this card is either getting exiled or tucked, the first person who actually uses that second ability should win some kind of prize. But there it is, just in case you want it. I can't think of a single Commander deck that can't use the ability to turn all permanents indestructible until the end of turn. Get ready to see this card a lot. Now that we've gushed over the Soul of New Phyrexia, let's see how we can use it to our advantage in a deck tech featuring another recent new card, Muzzio, Visionary Architect. What's better than paying 6 for Soul of New Phyrexia? Paying 4. Real quickly, speaking of Magical Christmas Land and Muzzio, how amazing would Gleemax be in a Muzzio deck? Get it into play without paying 1,000,000 mana and then stack your deck while getting the best artifact you own each turn? Wow, that's something. Alright, so let's get into the deck tech itself. Of course, Muzzio is going to be the commander. Our first of the 99 cards, well, it's got to be Soul of New Phyrexia. Now, because Commander usually a multiplayer format, if you tap out on your turn to go ahead and activate its ability, and then someone else decides to throw a Planar Cleansing or something else out, you're going to get stuck. So, second card I want to put in here is Unwinding Clock. It's going to untap all of our artifacts. So that means we need artifacts that make mana. We're going to include Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Grim Monolith, Darksteel Ingot, Coalition Relic, Thran Dynamo, Gilded Lotus, Dreamstone Hedron, and Silver Myr. All of those artifacts will untap with Unwinding Clock, allowing us to hopefully get to that 5 mana we need each person's turn, just in case a board wipe comes our way or a huge army comes our way. A lot of the creatures in here will be artifacts as well, so this makes blocking a breeze. Now we also have a couple lands artifacts, Darksteel Citadel and Seat of the Synod. These will also untap, which is very good. Now 5 mana, not the most expensive thing ever for an activated ability, but we can certainly make it cheaper, so let's do it. I've got Training Grounds in here to reduce it by 2. This also works great with Muzzio's ability. Heartstone, another one, going to reduce both the costs on Muzzio and on Soul of New Phyrexia. Power Artifact will reduce the cost if I attach it to Soul of New Phyrexia, or maybe I just attach it to one of those artifacts up there like Grim Monolith or Mana Vault. That'll make it infinite colorless mana, which might come in handy. Now, because I want Soul of New Phyrexia to be a focus of this deck, I want ways to tutor it out. Reshape and Transmute Artifact, we'll go ahead and get it from the library, put it into play. We might have to pay a little bit more depending on what artifact we sack to get it, but I think that's worth it. If we get Tezzeret the Seeker up high enough, he can go and fetch it for us. Fabricate will put it in hand in 6 mana, not a whole lot. We can certainly put it into play from there. Kuldotha Forgemaster, that's going to get it into play for us. We can also get Treasure Mage to put it in hand and cast it later. And long-term plans is really great in this deck because with Muzzio in play, I can go ahead and long-term plans Soul of New Phyrexia right to the top of my library practically, activate Muzzio because there should be something 3 or greater as far as artifact CMC, and then boom, put it right into play. Citanul Flute, also a way since it's a creature to go ahead and put it into play. And one of the off-the-wall ways to do it is Arbiter of the Ideal. If we can hit this on the top of the library and then get an inspired trigger off of the Arbiter, boom, there we go. Now it's an enchantment in addition to its artifactness, but I don't think it really makes a difference here in this situation. As long as it keeps that artifactness, that's what we're most concerned with. Blue deck's not really known for having the best mana, so we do want to go ahead and help that out as well. In addition to all those other mana rocks we have, we want ways to get lands into our hand, then into play. We have Pilgrim's Eye, Solemn Simulacrum, Burnished Hart, and Dreamscape Artist. Great ways to get additional lands. We also want to reduce costs, which is really cool as well. So we have Etherium Sculptor, Cloud Key, Cage Sun, and then Mycosynth Golem. If we can get this into play, maybe even on a discount with Muzzio, all of our artifacts are just going to go crazy, flying into play left and right. I'm really excited about seeing that card in this deck. Now, Muzzio himself, let's not forget, great ability to put lots of cool stuff into play. So let's add Rings of Brighthearth, Illusionist Bracers, and Thousand-Year Elixir to the deck. This will go ahead and allow him to either activate the ability twice or do it hasty with Thousand-Year Elixir. So very good ways to get the biggest bang out of our buck from Muzzio as our commander. We sort of want ways to go ahead and throw big artifacts from our hand on top of our library when we activate Muzzio. That way we can get them directly into play without having to cast them from our hand. Really helpful with this is going to be Brainstorm and Scroll Rack. Now, other ways to maybe manipulate the top of the library or just go ahead and try to filter through some of the cards that we don't want are Soothsaying, Ponder, and Preordain. Also bringing some card draw in this deck because, you know, blue card draw, it works. Jace Beleren, little Jace. We have Coercive Portal, which is actually really great in this deck because usually early on, you want to be drawing a bunch of cards. So you just choose the draw card, draw card, draw card. Just vote for that the most. If you decide you want to go ahead and blow the board, just start voting for the destroy all non-land permanents, and then you can make all your stuff indestructible if you have enough mana with Soul of New Phyrexia in play, so you're not going to be dinged by it, which is great. Now, let's say your opponents know what you're getting up to with that card. That's all right. If they decide that they want to blow it all then and there, well, make sure you have that soul in play, make sure you have that 5 mana up, and they're still going to take the brunt end of it. For card draw, we also have Staff of Nin. Master Transmuter, I think, is a great addition to this deck. Get some of those high, expensive CMC artifacts, take them from our hand, put them into play, really good. Crystal Shard, a superstar in any deck, I feel like. Spellskite will be there to protect some cards like Muzzio, perhaps, since he's a little vulnerable to stuff. We have Oblivion Stone, that's also great, make all our stuff indestructible, and then blow the stone. We have some removal in Pongify and Curse of the Swine. Akroma's Memorial, a great high casting cost artifact, does a lot of really good stuff for us. I always want to have at least one kind of graveyard interaction spell in my deck, so we have Relic of Progenitus for that. Now, we need a way to win besides just making all of our stuff indestructible, because so far it's just a bunch of mana and card draw. Let's get the big hitters out. Master of Etherium. This guy's going to get big quick with all the artifacts we run in the deck. Wormcoil Engine. Might as well throw Soul's Daddy in the deck. Steel Hellkite. Another great commander staple. Spine of Ishsa, which is really powerful. With Master Transmuter, we have Mere Battlesphere, Duplicant, Platinum Angel, and the big twin daddies, Darksteel Colossus, which really not as frightening anymore, and then Blightsteel Colossus. So yes, there is some power to this deck. It can win. And yes, it could be a stronger, honestly. You're right. You're looking at this deck and saying, where's Mycosynth Lattice? Where are these other cards that are really going to break this deck wide open? You can put them in here. I decided not to. Just sort of a little bit of a stripped down, less powerful deck. But obviously, Commander, if you want to go crazy, go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and wrap up the mana base now. Academy Ruins, really great in this deck. No, we're not running Slaver, so you don't have to worry about Slaver locking your opponents like you would worry about that anyway. I know you. Buried Ruin, a great way to get an artifact back. Minimo, School at Water's Edge. Muzzio, he's a legend. This untaps legends. Muzzio needs a tap. That's great. We have Vesuva for copying good stuff. Thespian Stage for also copying good stuff. This is a deck that is ripe for a bribery. Homeward Pass is going to be important here. A little bit of mana ramp in Ancient Tomb and Temple of the False God. And then rounding it out, 29 islands. So there you go, the new M15 Mythic Rare Soul of New Phyrexia. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe and favorite and like this video, go ahead and do so. The GatheringMagic.com channel is a great channel full of great informative videos, so check these guys out. Of course, I work with them. You can see me on my channel, that's CMDR Decks. Check out all those great deck techs there. Check out all the amazing videos here, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.